Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Let's see, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, and it's time for our visit with Jim George. He's a little disappointed Robert's not here today. But,
That's right.
But Joe's going to sit in Robert's place. It should be okay, right? How you doing, Jim?
It's hard to fill Robin's shoes because they're so pointy at the end, you know.
Yeah, she's up seeing her first grandchild. I'm telling you, she's just loving it.
Fantastic.
She's just loving that whole thing.
That's right.
Can I ask you to just pull that microphone so it's facing you?
How
that happened?
Let's bring that over there.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it? That little bit of difference makes all the difference.
Directional microphone.
Yep. Yeah. So technology is always in the news. There were two drone stories today I wanted to share with you.
Really?
Yeah. One is Uber Eats was experimenting in California with delivering McDonald's with their Uber. I'm with drones.
Yeah.
With Uber drone. Yeah. With flying your hamburgers too.
Right.
And the other one was Amazon saying instead of delivering directly to your house with a drone, they're going to deliver to like a distribution center or something of that sort. So they'll go, like Joe said, from Lakeland to Ocala, and then from Ocala to your house. So
yeah.
So you won't have a drone coming in your driveway. It'll come.
Well, that's always good to hear.
Yeah.
Talk about UFO. You imagine that sucker flying over your house, and then you see it flying to another house, and you know you're expecting a package. Is that my drone or your drone?
But do you think if we listen back to this, like in the future, do you think we will laugh at ourselves and say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe we thought it would be that way"? In other words, will we be so comfortable with seeing drones all the time that it's just no big deal?
I know the drone's got a camera on it, and you can see what it sees, and so the operator who is sending it, but eventually it's going to have some kind of marker, almost like our missiles. They mark it. They send a light beam to the object, and then the missile follows that light beam to the subject, or they'll bounce something off of it like a frequency, and then the missile knows to hit. All those light waves, all those frequencies, all those drones. It's going to be hectic. I don't even want to be around when that sucker.
Oh, the invisible stuff, the tech, the behind the scenes stuff, how it actually navigates, right? All that part. Yeah.
You can't have one navigator at a screen, let's say, looking at 10 drones, and he's controlling 10 drones going to 10 houses or 10. There would be a channel opened up. Think about it, from Lakeland to Ocala all the time with flights back and forth.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable.
So that's the part that I don't think I understand. Are they operated by humans, or are they all?
Well, they are now, but who knows? Maybe the AI will take over.
Right.
AI is a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So the other tech story this morning was the doorbell with the camera on it.
Yeah.
That was in the news because a snake had crawled over the doorbell, and the guy wasn't home. So on his phone, he saw the image on his phone. It looked like
you're gonna say it. Just say it.
A male body part.
Yeah.
He didn't know what it was. He thought some kid in the neighborhood was ringing his bell with a toy.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was a snake going to get a bird nest above his door. Isn't that cool?
Yeah, I've seen. We were
Only Larry finds
something
this
on Yahoo this morning about the same thing. There's a new manufacturer of those video doorbells, and he was talking about how his is so unique because it sends it to your cell phone, and we've had those for a long time now.
Yeah.
One's called Ring, R-I-N-G. That's what it does.
He was on Shark Tank, wasn't he? Ring, that guy with Ring.
I don't know if he was or not. I wasn't in that tank.
But maybe his thing is unique because you can communicate back and forth.
They have them where they talk back. Yes,
In other words, hey, I'm sitting here watching you, sucker. What do you think you're doing? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, you can talk back and forth with them now. They have Ring has that, but I don't need all that stuff coming to my cell phone. Even if I was in the house and the doorbell rang, we have a little peep window. We look out, see who it is. We don't have to open the door.
But if you're on vacation somewhere, wouldn't it be
there's
nice?
A word.
Wouldn't it be nice to be able to say, "Oh, there's stew at our front door.
No, people years ago used to leave a pad and pencil and paper.
Yes, I remember that.
A little clipboard thing. And
I was here.
Sorry, I missed you. I'll stop by later or whatever it was. And that went by way of the dodo bird because nobody wants to leave a message to say they'll just call back later. Or
Well, no, it's a problem. It's hi, I hear with Rob House. See you later.
glad to see you're out.
Yeah, glad to see you out, kind of thing.
All right, and then Joe was telling me he's on his way to North Carolina. He's going to go visit his home.
That's right. Yes.
He's going to go visit his
Joe needs to have one of those monitoring devices so he can keep an eye on his house, because he's a landlord.
He's a landlord.
Yeah.
Yep. And they have cameras that will look. Even on my house, I'm getting ready to put in eight cameras. I have 8 now that are video cameras. I'm taking the video cameras out and putting in IP cameras.
In your house?
Around
outside,
the
perimeter.
house. Yeah, I don't want to look in my house. I'm in the
You know
house.
what's in your house.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
What's the advantage to the IP over the regular video camera?
Well, you can control it. Look, I can do a pan, zoom, tilt. PZLT or something. Anyway, I can pan it up and down. I can tilt it, and I can zoom in and out.
From your cell phone?
I can go left and right, from my cell phone. So, and what we want it for is, you put markers on it, and the markers are, if there's motion, start to record.
Oh, okay.
If there's no motion, you don't need to record.
Oh,
But I'm going to have it where it will always record, but the motion will send it to me. So in other words, if there's someone in my backyard, let's say I tell the guy I want to have my pool clean, and he says I'll be there Monday, and he doesn't, but Tuesday morning early he comes by to look at it because he wants to call me and tell me what he saw. Well, I can see him approach the driveway. I can see him come down the driveway. Different cameras will pick him up as he comes. And if there was something missing, then I could see him put it in the car and take it away. I can call him and say, thank you for stopping by. Would you bring my lawn chair back, please?
Would you bring I see you eating lunch in my lawn chair, taking it home with you. I got you.
Things like that. Plus, if there's a gate around the pool, but let's assume some kid from the neighborhood gets over the gate and wants to swim in the pool. That's fine. But if he were to die in that pool, and the liability, I could prove that the gate was locked. He went over the gate, those kind of things.
So, like I said, there was a lot of tech news. Another story from this morning with the governor yesterday, Governor of Florida, DeSantis, signed the bill that allows driverless cars in the state.
Right.
But
there's been a lot of driverless cars in the state recently.
No. Oh, that's bad.
But the caveat is when they're ready. That's what he said.
When they're ready.
When they're ready.
Which won't be during his administration.
Well,
You don't think?
2 or 3 weeks ago, I was on the news, and I've seen a helicopter shot of it live, a driverless tractor trailer, and they were doing it in Tampa.
I think it's okay for a long haul on 75 or something like that, but every time you turn around, you see wrecks on 75 with the tractor trailers. I was actually heading south Monday
one yesterday.
on 75. Right, now there's that one I came on, and there was a tractor trailer, and a car cut him off. He passed, but he turned in too soon. The tractor trailer, it was raining. It was just lightly raining, hit his brakes, and jackknife. So his trailer blocked all northbound lanes.
Sure.
So it happened right in front of me, and I no sooner got down the road 1 mile, and it was still bumper to bumper. But it just happened. How could it back up? How many cars were backed up that long?
Yeah.
And he couldn't get back out the way he jackknifed. His vehicle was up in the grass, and his tractor was out in the lanes, blocking them all. So I'm sure they had to get some kind of a lift, what do you call them, tow truck to come in and get him out of there. Unbelievable.
Do you use apps on your phone? No, you just use your phone to call people, right?
That's it. I'm not an app guy.
Oh, yeah, but don't you do Waves?
My wife does Waves, and when I'm with her, I do it. But by myself, I just use Intuition.
That's WAVES?
WAVES.
No, it's WAZE. Waze.
Waze.
Waze, yeah.
See, I don't even know that. What do I know?
Well, I just wrote it down, so I'm going to put it on my app.
Yeah, you need it. You need it because you're going north. But she'll tell me all the time. She called yesterday. She was in Brookville, and she was coming back, and Google wanted her to go 41, which is stop and go. And I said, why don't you do 75? And she said, Google said to go 41. I said, well, pull over and disconnect and go back on the Waves. And she called me back. She goes, wow, now I know why Google wanted me to go 41.
I know, yeah. That's pretty cool.
But it didn't say. See, she didn't know whether she should.
Why it did it.
Right,
Yeah,
but Waze told her why. It said, There was an accident up in State Road 50 where it hit 75.
So do you ever use your apps, either of you, to order food?
No.
Joe, have you ever used it?
To order food?
Yeah.
No, I'm old-fashioned. I go in and get it.
Okay, so I have.
Yeah.
I use it at Subway across the street.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you mean so prepared?
It's ready. You go in there, and there's a line, but they say, did you order online? I said, yep, here it is.
Okay, I've done that. I've done that with
No, I haven't
Wawa.
done that.
Paid for, ready for me. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, I did that with Wawa when it's all brand new, and I was on my way. Where's I going? I was going to Disney World, and I stopped in on the way out, and sure enough, it was
Same
ready.
with the movie theater. You can order tickets and don't have to wait in line. Just walk right in. Here you go.
That's different.
Yeah.
Times are different now. Yeah.
So how come they can't do it at the theme parks? Why do we still have to wait in line 10 hours yesterday?
Well, that's,
Wow.
no, that's ridiculous. That's you're just being funny now.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of new
being funny.
technology
You are.
that is there to maybe enhance an experience and such. But I'm not positive all technology is good technology.
Oh, really? You
Give me an
throw over-
example of a bad one.
Well, I mean, I don't want my refrigerator telling me I'm out of milk. I may not
That
want
is
any
kind of
milk.
a funny one, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I may have bought milk because my granddaughter
That
was
is kind of a
visiting,
weird one, yeah.
She leaves and the milk is gone, and it keeps coming up saying, you need milk, you need milk. What's wrong with you? Get milk.
I fill a jug with water, put it in there.
Yeah,
doesn't know.
I don't want a smart refrigerator.
Smart
I
ass-
wouldn't
smart
want
ass refrigerator.
What if it had a smart toilet? You had a.
They have those stuff. Don't start
I mean,
there.
it tells you, it's time to flush or whatever it is.
Your bottom's dirty. What?
I don't want it talking to me. There's certain apparatuses I don't want talking.
Well, yeah. Well, we were talking yesterday. We had a guest on about the 5G.
Oh, yeah, I got the book for you.
That's what I was pointing to over there somewhere. There you go.
Oh, look here.
It's all about 5G and
the great
and,
connecting.
and all this there, and why 5G was better.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only going to be like you had said earlier in the big cities.
Big metropolitan area.
Metropolitan is the word I was looking for.
Yep.
Blah, 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 blah. I kept coming up with Supermans.
I have a conference call today at 2:00 with a gentleman that has invented a device, which I'm going to be the only person in Florida to have it.
Oh,
But
really?
it's not ready yet for prime time. But he invented it for the first responders because during hurricanes and storms and such, and everybody is on their cell phones, all the frequencies are jammed.
Sure.
You can't make calls. And you've experienced it even yourself where you go to call somebody and you have a fast, busy signal, and then you hang up and you call again and it goes right through. At that moment in time, all the repeaters on the cell towers were full. People were using them. And even 5G, although it's going to have a bigger bandwidth and such, it's going to be years before we ever see any kind of benefit from 5G because they're going to hit the big cities, Chicago, Miami, so on and so forth. Ocala and Brooksville, those places probably never see it until 6G is ready. So, and 6G is out. I mean, as far as out is the specifications have been written for 6G. So, but he's invented this box, and it takes every single frequency in and every single frequency out, and there's little slots you put in to control those frequencies. But what it's doing is it's extending the range, so you could be, it would be so powerful that it would be the equivalent of 5 cell towers instead of 1. That's how strong it is. And they're going to put one of them in the equestrian place. The one that's going in?
Oh, really?
One to handle that whole complex of, I don't know how many thousands of homes. And
So basically, it's like an FM signal, just scoot it out there.
it's just the way that it handles the frequency. It's almost like time domain frequency response. In other words, it's constantly testing every single frequency and moving you over to another one, even though that was meant for something else, because it's constantly giving you connectivity. So first responders and all police bands and everything are on that one box. But that one box is about $100,000.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it will cover like all of Marion County.
One box.
One box.
And it's going to be at the Equestrian Center.
It's going to be out there for right now. Yeah, that's where it's going to be.
And that'll take care of all of Marion County.
Right, and it actually hit the Trilogy. It'll hit Ocala Palms. It will hit on top of the world. That's how strong it is. So I'm looking forward to it.
Wow.
It is interesting to see
Technology.
things change. When VHS tapes first came out, I mean, one of the things we had to do was tracking. Remember that tracking?
Oh, yeah,
You had to move that little knob
Yep.
to get rid of the lines. Remember that?
Yes.
When you first had that? And now sometimes pixelating happens. What causes that?
The power, the the amount of signal hitting it is too low, and the device receiving it doesn't receive all the information in time it's called packets. It doesn't receive enough packets at one time to form the picture. So it pixelates until it receives more information. And the way IPTV works, or any kind of streaming works, is they send packets and then they wait, send more packets and wait, because you can't stream constantly, totally all the information. It's way too slow for the device you have. So it bursts information, which could be good for 2 minutes of TV time.
Yeah.
And then a second or two later, who knows how long, they'll burst some more information. And it's always bursting. But at that moment where it wants to burst, maybe there's something else going on. You're using the internet in your home, you're doing something else, and there's not enough bandwidth to send it, and it pixelates.
What about when you're on the computer and I call it the wheel of death?
Oh, yeah, well, that's usually trying to connect, and once it is connected, then it does it again because of the same theory behind it. It can't send all the information at once. You might have Excel spreadsheet open, you might have a video open. The processor in your computer needs to be larger, more RAM.
So it's more your computer than the.
Well, it's the processing device. When I say computer, the processing device is busy processing other stuff.
But in other words, it's overloaded.
It's overloaded.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And
layman terms, it's overloaded.
Yeah, but I thought that one subject you had this morning on the swapping of excrement was interesting.
Yeah.
And I understand why they do it. I've seen it on.
Why does everybody keep going back to that?
It's a great story. That's
but
why.
Who thought of it?
For instance, like I had to take an antibiotic from a doctor from my dentist. All right, so I did. And just about 4 days into it, I had to go to a different doctor because, VAs keep me busy. And they wanted me to take the same antibiotic for another 7 days.
Yeah.
And so finally it ended up where I was taking the same antibiotic 3 times a day for a month. So I knew I was clean. There wasn't anything living in my body. So what I started doing was taking some probiotics, which puts the good stuff back
That's
into
what they say. That's what they say.
So I had to go to the dentist this morning. One of the root canals I had just didn't take well. And so they want to go in there with a knife and do all kind of cutting.
What?
So she wants to give me a different antibiotic, and she said this one will kill everything. Whereas the other one didn't kill too much, this one kills everything.
And you have a phone call? Like you get your headset on? Good morning. Thank you for calling. You're on the air.
Yes, happy Flag Day, everybody.
Yes, happy Friday.
Flag Day.
Hey, when you got the radio on, every once in a while, the national broadcast breaks in with a couple of sound noises that say this is a test, and if this was to be a hurricane or tornado, we alert you. Is that, when they do that, is that on a local, state, or federal level? And do they have to tell the radio stations ahead of time that they're going to be breaking in?
The answer is yes and no. So they do not have to tell the radio station. It's automatic. It takes over control of Joe's radio station or Channel 2 or 6 or whatever. It's federally mandated. That was where the yes comes through. And every cable company and every TV broadcaster, radio stations, all of them have to have the emergency alert system, the EAS.
In our location here in Marion County, Florida, Ocala, where is that located to alert us? Is that located in our county or state, or is it somewhere else?
Well, it's located in every state. Every emergency station, Ocala's got one. Every county has 3 and 4 of them have that same device, and the signals come by satellite and by internet. And it was originally produced so that the President of the United States could tell the nation that there is an emergency, whether it be an atom bomb or whatever it would be. That was the reasoning behind it. And then NOAA, the National Organization for Atmospheric Interference, more or less, decided that it needed to be involved. And that's why you have that there's severe weather storms down here and there and everything, and all those alerts. And then Amber got involved, which was great. The Amber Alert, a child's been kidnapped and look for this kind of car and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot more break-ins than what sometimes you and I see. The big cities will see break-ins all the time due to the fact that there's so much going on.
if there's nothing going on, if they have a regular schedule when they break in, and does the radio, like our WOCA, do they know when they're going to be breaking in for just a practice?
Well, I'll let Joe answer that.
That'll be every Monday about noon. You'll hear it. It'll come in automatically. It'll overpower everything. We'll be in the middle of a commercial, or Larry will be talking, and it just comes over, and you'll hear the tones, and then that's it. It's done.
So this is the test.
Yeah, kind of
The
thing.
national, yeah.
But we just run the tones.
Yeah, it's testing all the time.
So you'll hear that about noon every Monday morning. Or noon, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
No, thank you.
Thanks for the call.
So if I could just add one thing to it, you
Yeah.
just said the emergency broadcast system, which preceded the emergency alert system, was manually operated. We had to actually come in here and do
Oh,
it.
you did?
Yeah. And then they wanted to be able to control it themselves. So then it
they do.
became the emergency alert system. And the political pushback, which was unsuccessful, was to prevent it, which of course was unsuccessful, was because they were afraid, you're going to be listening to, like, I'm going to be talking about the president, they're not going to like what I have to say, and then just cut me off. That was the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still could happen, I suppose. But.
Well, everybody talks about the president, so that won't happen.
Well, freedom of speech.
You're not right.
Yeah, freedom of
right.
speech. No, but it really works. I mean, I know that for years ago, I worked for a distributor in the sense that I was his rep here in Florida, and we sold the emergency alert system and installed them. But we only installed them in the federal buildings, all the emergency broadcast. Like if you go out to the sheriff substation right now, the one up on 33rd Avenue,
Right.
The emergency alert network is there. The 911 network is there.
Is that right?
That device is installed in there.
Did you know, by the way, the substation on 441 heading south just before Bellevue?
Yes. Yes.
Did you know that the wooded area behind that actually has a trail on it? You can take a walk?
Well, it must be covered up pretty highly with the debris. I know that the towers that hold the Cross Barge Canal
Right.
is in there.
Right. You can go back there, and because Robin's mom did it, they give tours, well, self-guided tours. There are signs along the way, and you have a little brochure, and I think it's like a 1.5 mile round trip thing.
Isn't that something? No,
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So go to the sheriff's office, park your car, and take a walk.
And go snake hunting.
There's a sign that says "Beware of bears," and meanwhile, there's two, major highways on both sides of
Yeah.
the
How'd the bears get in there?
I don't know.
Yeah. They're fast dudes.
I guess that's just in case. Right?
Yeah, that's bear. So, yeah, so the emergency alert system, going back to that for 1 minute, is meant for our good, and I think it has been good. Like I said, the Amber Alerts come out of it. All the national weather alerts come out of it, local county alerts. And they're starting to use it now for if there's a break-in in your home, in your area. Let's assume you live in a large gated community. You live in top of the world, and there was an incident. They would broadcast to on every channel that if you live in that area, lock your doors and don't come out until you hear from us again.
So are the cable companies like yourself, are you obligated to abide by the same rules that we are for the FCC?
Yes, under the same large format. Let's say it's number 76 of the FCC code, but then there's ABC, and then there's 1, 2, 3, and then there's subchapters. And I'm in one of those subchapters that says we must allow it to come through. We're not forced to have the emergency alert system in our system because every off-air has it. And that's called the basic TV package. And then every satellite channel, that's where the box comes in. You must block every channel. So the FCC, in its wisdom, said if you're under 1,000 subscribers, you do not need this. But if you're over 1,000 subscribers, you must have it. But now they're coming back saying, okay, you were grandfathered out. Now you must have it if you're over 500 subscribers.
Oh, is that right?
No, they moved it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're moving it down. Eventually, every system will have to.
Do you know what? I have a question for them, though. Why is the sound quality so poor? Like, why can't they sound good? It always sounds like, this has been a test of the emergency broadcast.
Yeah.
Right.
That sounds good to me. Just like ordering pizza.
It's a machine. It's AI again. And whoever typed it in, the machine is reading the type, and it's a machine language.
Oh, yeah.
It's a machine language.
Well,
it's not a person.
Alexa speaks nicely.
This is true.
Well, she gets paid more.
I guess so. Are we out of time? No.
Yeah, we got 15 seconds.
Oh, wow.
There
we go.
Let me play your music. How do we get a hold of you, Jim?
Yeah, 854-9795. So what's going on this weekend, real quick?
Father's Day,
Father's Day.
Flag Day,
Flag Day?
and we got to go.
Gotta go.
Thank you.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. President Trump said earlier this week that he'd listen if a foreign government offered dirt on a political opponent. He tells Fox and Friends,
Gee, if they say